Chair recognizes Mr. Hopper to explain his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members,
Ms. Simmons, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
let me finish this out and I'll
Not
yield
at this
for
time.
questions.
This one is a bit of a slow grower in terms of witnessing stupidity unfold in front of your eyes. Watch as this Republican, Andy Hopper, wants to make an amendment to cut state funding for LGBTQ+ courses at the University of Texas, Austin. His ignorance of what he's talking about is exposed by Democrat Lauren Ashley Simmons. As usual, it's not ignorance that makes someone stupid, but the addition of arrogance that highlights an unhealthy position. That of intentionally deciding not to learn, not to educate yourself on the matters that you're speaking about.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of this amendment to the 89th legislative session budget is to reduce government funding to the University of Texas in Austin. Despite repeated calls by our president, our governor, and our legislature, the University of Texas continues to put out an outsized focus offering degree programs and courses in lesbian, gay, and bisexual, transgender, queer studies, and has continued a pattern of teaching discrimination hidden behind the words diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are also programs that deny the unchangeable biological reality that there are only two sexes, male and female. These programs, and by extension this university, shall not be funded by tax dollars.
Please allow the debate uninterrupted.
I move adoption and request record vote. Hey, I'm sorry, 1 second. Let me take these questions.
Ms. Simmons, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Gentleman
you.
yields.
Thank you. Representative Hopper, can you clarify what it means when a course does not comply with the biological reality that there are only two sexes?
Yes, Ms. Simmons. So if a course is teaching the student body of a university that gender is somehow fluid, that there is some sort of way to change your gender, then that would violate what we're trying to say here.
So just for clarification before I move on, gender or sexuality, can you clarify what you mean? Because those are not one and the same.
So when you're born and you have a set of chromosomes,
so are you
XX
speaking about biological sex, or are you speaking about gender? Because one is scientific, one is a social construct. Because I have a follow-up question.
Yeah,
after.
they're one and the same, ma'am.
That's not true. But moving on. Okay, so in the same vein, what about intersex individuals?
I don't even know what that means, ma'am.
So
could you explain that? I mean, I would like an explanation. Please explain it.
So, I'll take it really slow. Since the beginning of time, people have been born with either ambiguous genitalia or with or without ovaries, both. And so those people, from a biological standpoint, exist. They're not mythical. It's not something we're making up, which is why I asked you, are you speaking about gender or sexuality? Because again, one is a social construct, one is more scientific based, and that's why I was asking.
So gender is not a social construct. It's firmly rooted in biological reality.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I said gender is not a social construct.
Okay, so again, intersex. Do intersex people, what about them? When we were talking about two biological sexes, what are we talking about when we're regarding intersex people?
Yeah, could you explain it one more time? I think we all would like to have an explanation where we can understand it. I think we're quite following.
You are not sure what intersex people are, if they exist or not, but you want to defund a program about something that you don't quite understand. I'm trying. That's why I'm seeking clarification.
Yeah. So the truth that is rooted in our biblical understanding that God set forth from the beginning of creation is that your gender is fixed at birth and you cannot change it.
Again, I want to clarify gender as a social construct or a biological sex. And again, you haven't yet answered my question about where do intersex people fall into that equation?
Yeah, those intersex individuals are still XX or XY, so you can't change that.
Okay, well, under rule, Mr. Speaker,
Ms. Simmons, for what purpose?
I'd like to call a point of order.
State your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I raise a point of order against further consideration of the amendment under House Rule 8, Section 4 on the grounds that this amendment seeks to create general law through an appropriations bill.
Simmons, bring your point of order down.
Will do.
Click here for more videos on stupidity.